streaming on multiple platforms at this time. We're tracking and watching showers and storms right now. We had expected this to be a bit of a damp day, and Mother Nature certainly providing. We've got that rain socked in right now in our live view here. This is a live picture across Washington, and you can barely see across the Potomac into the city, but yeah, city's back there. It's just so damp at this hour. So plenty of rain as we begin the day. We'll get a little bit of a break late morning to the midday hours, and then a return to showers and thunderstorms for later in the afternoon hours. So this is how it sort of plays out. Rain next few hours, especially in the metro and along that I-95 corridor. If you are watching and streaming us across our western part of the viewing area, out in the Shenandoah Valley, areas west of the Blue Ridge, not much rain, if any at all, at this hour, and I'll show you that on the radar here momentarily, but you'll get another round of showers and storms to roll through later this afternoon. All right, a lot of clouds around today, too. We may break out in a couple peaks of sunshine during the afternoon hours, but more than likely we stay cloudy to mostly cloudy. Southerly breezes pick up. We'll see gusts 25, 30 miles per hour this morning, and a couple gusts upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour for the afternoon hours as the cold front rumbles through. And it's literally going to rumble through with rain and storms here during that afternoon commute. Probably right after school pickup time, so generally after 4 o'clock for Metro Washington, and the threat will linger through the early evening hours as well. Once we get to the late evening, there will be some lingering showers and rain, but I'm not worried about severe weather. And again, not everyone's going to see severe weather. This is a slim chance, a small chance. It's a marginal risk for severe weather, according to the Storm Prediction Center. So here's the latest radar imagery here. This is 8:06, 8:07 now. And rain, again, right over D.C., right over Arlington, Alexandria, and pretty much all of the suburbs, except you guys out in Loudoun County, where you had rain earlier. Rain is starting to ease now. It's as if the moisture is developing right on top of Washington and then moving off to the east. So it stretches all the way to the Bay, down through southern Maryland, and south to the Fredericksburg area, where we have seen multiple rounds of rain here early this morning. So let's do a quick radar tour. We take you right into D.C., all 4 quadrants of the city seeing that rain. Arlington socked in with some downpours, especially north of the courthouse and Ballston areas, into the northern part of the city, up towards McLean, and then farther back into the Great Falls area, I should say. That's where the heaviest rain is. American Legion Bridge, a soaker right now if you're coming out of Potomac, or if you're driving on the opposite direction, driving out of Tysons, McLean, across 495, across the American Legion Bridge. Conversely, we also have some downpours down here over the Wilson Bridge and over to Old Town in the west end of Alexandria as well. So a decent downpour there. Rain stretches back towards Bailey's Crossroads, Annandale, over to Fairfax, Vienna, and farther west to the Reston, Chantilly areas. Once you get to about Sterling, you go west from there, it's just sprinkles and light showers, if anything at all. So pretty much all of Fairfax County socked in with that rain. And then you go a little farther south, Clifton, Manassas, got some light rain in your area. More of a steady rain here from Quantico Base through Dale City, Woodbridge, back into the Springfield, Annandale areas. There's Alexandria once again. Route 1 here, you can see, yeah, socked in with rain at this time. You go over to the other side of the Potomac, steady rain, La Plata, Waldorf, up to Fort Washington. In fact, it's quite heavy, Fort Washington National Harbor area, and right on down towards the Indian Head area. Clinton getting a decent drench of rain as well, and down through Andrews Base. We go farther south, Stafford, some scattered showers in your area. About to get hit with another downpour in Fredericksburg. None of this is severe. No thunder with this activity, but certainly a heavy rain at times. If you're driving south of Fredericksburg along 95 down through Ladysmith, you'll run into that rain. Some light rain towards Colonial Beach and the Dahlgren area, and some shower activity as well. Solomon's Island, in around Leonardtown and St. Mary's, California. Down through Mechanicsville here, but it's all light at this time. Light but steady rains across Calvert County, Prince Frederick through Chesapeake and North Beach, and back into the Annapolis area. We've put it back into motion. You can see that rain stretching across the area. This is the bulk of the activity. And again, you go west out towards Leesburg and Warrenton. You guys are pretty much dry for now. And I don't think you'll see much more later this morning. It's this afternoon where you see another round of showers and storms. So let's time it out. I'm going to bring you two Futurecast models. They both have similar stories, which gives me confidence in some of the timing of this rain. Again, we've got that batch of rain now, some of it heavy, though I think the modeling is overdoing it just now here on top of Metro Washington. We'll take you to later this morning at 10 o'clock. Looks like the bulk of the rain may be east of the district. Still rainy, though, Prince George's and Charles County. Isolated showers, Fredericksburg over to Fairfax. But it does flare up more activity right around midday. So some of these thunderstorms may become squally with gusty winds right around midday here. Looking at you guys down through Falmouth and maybe as far west as Summerduck and Warrenton. Certainly going to be watching much of Prince William and Fairfax counties. Again, Dale City, Nokesville, Manassas Park, and right on through the city of Fairfax. Look how the storms kind of blow up here on the modeling right over D.C. So again, I'm concerned right at lunchtime there could be some hefty storms, maybe even some gusty and isolated damaging wind threats with these storms right at midday. 2 o'clock, the storms are moving east of D.C. They may be a little farther east displaced than what the modeling is suggesting, but we'll be watching southern Maryland all the way up to Baltimore, including D.C. and the Prince George's County area. And then this area, this needs to be watched. If you're watching and streaming us from western Maryland, West Virginia, or the Shenandoah, you'll watch with great care right around 12, 1, 2 o'clock, a line to form right in around the Shenandoah, maybe a little farther west, and then it moves right into places like Winchester, Martinsburg, Hagerstown. This could be some gusty thunderstorms. And look at that. See how more storms flare up near Culpeper, Warrenton, perhaps out to Washington, Virginia. Certainly, we're going to be watching you guys out towards Newmarket, Woodstock, Luray, Front Royal, and in around much of Loudoun County. This activity is still lingering southern Maryland, so maybe some hefty storms through 3, 4 o'clock southern Maryland, Leonardtown, Mechanicsville, over to the new nice bridge down there. Literally, it's called the Nice Bridge there as you head over towards the Colonial Beach and Dahlgren areas. And then later on, late afternoon, 4, 5 o'clock, big storms possible, not likely, but possible in around Frederick, Leesburg, back into Warrenton, and back into Gainesville once again, right in through the Bull Run area, west of Chantilly, and over to Sterling as well. That's when that line of possibly stronger storms may rumble through. Could impact that evening commute here in the metro, but after school pickup time, which is good. This is 6 o'clock. Still some big time storms trying to rumble through Fairfax and Montgomery County. Still a lot of questions how much energy there will be to produce these storms. But the thing that we do have is a lot of wind energy, which is why we're concerned about any storms that could flare up, could tap into this warm, somewhat moisture-rich air, could rotate and put down some damaging winds and maybe even an isolated tornado. So we'll be watching again 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the metro. As we take it to 7 o'clock, looks like the storms do start to weaken. We're starting to lose the sun energy at this point. Sun is down right around 6:30, and by the time we get to about 7, 8 o'clock, I think the severe threat just about done, but there will be some lingering downpours. Mechanicsville over towards the Dunkirk area and up into Anne Arundel County, Crofton, and down through Annapolis, and some lingering shower possible into the district as well, 9, 10 o'clock later this evening. Now I'm going to quickly go through this other Futurecast model. Similar story. It's got the rain right on top of D.C. here at this early hour. We had expected that. By 9, 10 o'clock, some lingering shower, maybe even some rumbles of thunder possible, as there's sort of an axis right here where the moisture is just kind of funneling up. Perhaps some kind of convergence line here that's helping that moisture flare up and move upward in that upward motion in the atmosphere and producing those downpours that could happen. Even at midday, you could still see some isolated showers and maybe even some thunderstorms here, especially east of the district. That's what this particular model is doing. It doesn't have much at 12, 1 o'clock, so generally dry skies at that time, I think, for D.C., places like Leesburg, Culpeper. But again, that line to the west, the one I was talking about, shows up. That's the cold front, by the way. So it'll be moving through 12, 1, 2 o'clock, western Maryland, West Virginia, and then by the time we get to, this is 4 o'clock, so this is a little farther west than the other model I just showed you. Look at these downpours here. There could be some gusty thunderstorms already out to Winchester, Martinsburg, Hagerstown. Notice we may even see a little bit, just a little bit of sunshine break out from Manassas and Fairfax, Arlington to the district, maybe up to Rockville and south to La Plata and Brandywine. This is 3, 4 o'clock before this line really starts to fill in and move east. And again, this could be a strong thunderstorm line. I think this is too far west, but still, regardless, we may be watching storms moving through, marching through places like Frederick, Leesburg, Front Royal, and down through Luray, maybe farther east towards Manassas, Gaithersburg, Clarksburg, and into the Reston areas. Here's 6 o'clock. It's got the storms getting into the Beltway now, so we'll watch you guys Bethesda, Tysons, and right on down through Arlington as well. Manassas, Bull Run, once again, you guys are getting some downpour activity at this time, and Culpeper as well. And some of this could be on the stronger side, again, with that storm threat. 6:30, some big storms. This one has a big storm near Leesburg and Sterling and out to the Dulles area. And it also has some big storms around Manassas, and then it splits that and brings it south. Again, don't take it as gospel, but the idea is that we'll be tracking thundery downpours in Metro Washington through 6, 7 o'clock. Again, sun's down at 6:30 means we start losing that energy pretty quickly around here. There may still be some gusty winds with these storms, but by 7, 8 o'clock, it looks like the severe threat will begin to wane, but there will still be some downpours across the area. Fronts through by the time we get to 8, 9 o'clock. Temperatures will start to crash. Notice the 50s out west and just barely hanging on to the low 60s in D.C. at 8, 9 o'clock this evening. So there's the risk map from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll probably get another update to this within the next 45 minutes, so we'll pop it onto the WUSA 9 app if we do get a change to this map. But again, it's a marginal risk, so I want to keep in mind, risk is there, but it is the lowest of the 5 risk categories. Damaging winds, the primary threat. There is an isolated tornado threat. Again, it's a low-end isolated tornado threat. Can't rule it out, but more concerned about the damaging winds, that even that's not going to be widespread. This is not going to be everyone gets damaging winds kind of situation. More like sporadic, isolated, and you know, with the leaves coming down and the fact that we're into the fall now, we may get a lot of leaves put down, limbs, tree limbs, even a couple trees may come down with some of these gustier thunderstorms with gusts 40, 50, maybe up to 60 miles per hour. Once you get to 60, that's severe weather limits. The amount of rain we get. Okay, so we've already gotten some rain this morning, so the totals are down from what I showed you during Get Up DC. But the idea is that we'll get another quarter to half inch in general. This is 5 models, so if you were to take an average of this, the average would be below an inch. However, a few spots could top 1 inch of rain if you get caught under multiple downpours or if you get a pretty heavy storm to move through your area in a fairly slow fashion. This is a front, as I was mentioning here. So once the front clears away, much better weather coming our way. It's a little blustery, it's a little chilly tomorrow morning, but believe it or not, our winds are still kind of out of the west-southwest tomorrow afternoon. So that's going to pump up our temperatures back into the 60s across the area. I'm thinking upper 60s. In the last few days, we've been warming this forecast as we've gotten closer to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then beautiful weather heading to Saturday. Temps low to mid 70s with sunshine. Clouds will increase on Sunday. We'll hold off on the rain until perhaps Sunday afternoon and evening, but scattered showers possible Sunday late, Sunday evening, and perhaps into Monday as well. It's not going to be a heavy rain event and nor a severe weather event, but this front that's coming through early next week is going to drop our temperatures. We're talking highs only in the 50s by the time we get into next week. All the details on the 7-day outlook, of course, on the WUSA 9 app. You could check out our 7-day and our 10-day temperature forecast there. There is a warm-up beyond those 50s, so we're not going to stay in the 50s. We're not at that point of the fall. That usually doesn't happen until we get to November, thankfully. All right, so October day here is a damp one. We'll see showers and storms redevelop later this afternoon after several hours of dry time early in the afternoon. Temperatures 60s to 70s, and again, we've got that southerly breeze kicking up around 10 to 20 miles per hour. And I want to stop here and show you that radar one more time, sort of kind of review what we have going on here. Again, we've got rain and relatively mild temperatures, 60s at 8 in the morning. That's actually warm for this time of year. So we'll take it. With those areas of rain out there, the roads are going to be slick. Heading to the bus, the metro, you need the rain gear this morning because the rain will continue for a few more hours here over D.C. and south to Fredericksburg and up into the Baltimore area as well. If you live farther west, for now, it is mostly dry. Places like Hagerstown, Winchester, Front Royal, and over to Culpeper, as you've got relatively dry conditions developing out there, out across the western part of the area. Once we get past what's happening this morning, we'll get another batch of showers and thunderstorms for later this afternoon, and that's going to produce those potential severe weather threats across the area again late afternoon and early into the evening hours. So we'll be watching that with great care through the day here. Again, your planner forecast showing that we've got generally damp weather next few hours, a period of dry weather, let's say just afternoon through the early afternoon hours in the district, and then plan on more showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon, some of which could be on the strong to severe side. And again, radar has been very busy throughout the morning hours here as we continue to track rain moving across Metro Washington. The heaviest now moving through the city and moving through places like Olney and up to Wheaton as well, perhaps over to Greenbelt and Beltsville and Laurel as well. And looks like the heavier rain is in around, right around the district too. So again, northeast, southeast, right on through the Silver Hill area. Capitol Heights, District Heights, south to the National Harbor, and starting to lighten up a little bit across some of our Virginia communities. Rain coming to an end west of Sterling and Dulles at this hour. Still raining in and around Fairfax. Plenty of rain in Prince William County and down through Quantico and down through the Potomac Heights area. And a rainy morning has been all morning long in Fredericksburg and down through Spotsylvania. But the back edge of the rain now moving through Spotsylvania with a steady rain, light though, but with us from Waldorf, La Plata, down through Mechanicsville and over to Leonardtown early this morning, and then again putting it all into motion. You can see that rain rolling through. So a couple more hours of this steady rain, no severe weather for the early morning hours, perhaps a couple stronger storms at midday, and then the return to potential severe weather late this afternoon. We'll come back throughout the day here on the WUSA 9 app, WUSA 9 Plus, and of course we'll be on TV. We'll be back at 9 o'clock, Mary's tracking the rain, and then at noon, Caitlin will be tracking the rain as well. That's it for me, meteorologist Chester Lampkin, on this Weather Watch Alert Day. For now, have a great day and stay safe.